This is the Revoltage podcast, and today we have Kellan Park, as we usually have. No big deal.
No one cares about me.
No one cares about me. I'm just here.
But our special guest is a person that's very close to me. We have Pat Foster, who is not to break kayfabe or anything, but
Oh no, kayfabe's dead. We're good.
he is a luchador wrestler with me.
You all may know him on here as Muchacho Numero Dos or
No,
Muchacho.
He's numero uno.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
we
the other one is numero dos.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
The other one who
Muchacho-
decided to not be here today.
Muchacho number one, which he's already on my shit list for that.
But his-
broken nose over here probably.
Womp
Broken
womp.
nose.
I'm still bitter about it. They're going to bury me in on my tombstone. I'm going to be like, screw Ray Martinez.
Ray Martinez broke his nose.
There's an entire industry of people that have Screw Ray Martinez on their tombstone.
So, not to give away his gimmick, but his
Giveaway
favorite
gimmick.
letter is R.
Nay, it's the sea we love.
Yes, love the sea.
His Buccaneers are under his bucking hat.
No, that was
That was the
that was
worst joke I have ever heard.
like, and it's my goal to come up with like really bad pirate jokes, and I'm not going to use that.
You know what's funny? So, if you haven't figured it out now, he is El Capitan
El Capitan.
at Elote. And what my favorite thing is, I remember the very first time we ever went to Elote ever was it was Luchaween 2016. So it was last year.
I have to stop though. Luchaween always sounds like a dirty word.
It does. You want to see my Luchaween?
Sorry, I mean, go ahead, tell your story.
But it was the very first time we ever went, and I think it was you and Arthur.
Yeah, it was me. He was Great Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Because we had the pumpkin cake, which was awful.
That's right. And that was the
Or
match.
amazing.
And it was the first time.
Awful.
It was the first time we'd ever been there. First time we'd ever seen it. First time we'd ever been a part of it. And I remember distinctly remember you coming out and your music, which is still your music.
Yeah, I love that song.
The Pirates Who Can't Do, or
It's the Pirates Can't Do Anything. Reliant K.
yeah.
Reliant K.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
it's the Veggie Tales, Pirates Who Can't Do Anything. And I remember hearing that thinking that is the funniest thing.
I don't know like who paid them to do that song because
I don't.
it's so not like them, and yeah, I love that song.
Oh, it's so good. It's the perfect song to come out to.
Oh yeah, of course.
What made you pick the pirate?
So it's not really that long of a story. Back when I was wrestling, I also did SCA, Society for Creative Anachronism. For those who don't know, it's medieval reenactment. So like,
Yes.
I did not know this.
That
Yeah.
is so
So
cool.
I
this
did that
podcast
for-
is already the best podcast we've ever done.
take
Fuck
that,
you, Ray Martinez.
But yeah, so I did that for not a long time, but I went to war and learned to fight and things like that. And I had all this gear from that. And we had been feuding with this group here in Oklahoma City.
Mhm.
And we did this big blow off hardcore match. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do a different gimmick.
Wait a minute. Can I point out that blow off hardcore match sounds like it belongs on Pornhub?
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think if you look up blow off hardcore match,
I'm on it. Yeah.
I'm on. He's there.
No, there's another story. Okay. But anyways, I was like, I'm going to do this new gimmick, and it's Captain Luke LaPonte. And my partner at the time was like, oh, okay, I'll do a new gimmick too. And he's like some fucking vampire thing. But we were being
Gangrel.
managed kind of like Gangrel, but we were being managed by Ray Martinez. So I just put on the pirate gear and I came out as Captain Luke LaPonte. And then I won a championship, which I keep forgetting about, but all the pictures I have, I'm like, what is that belt? Oh yeah, I won that belt. So then when I was a champion, I became Commodore Luke LaPonte.
All right.
But that was
what's Commodore?
I don't know. It's just the next thing though.
Yeah, it's like above a captain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a naval.
It's not like I looked it up or anything. I was like, I'm kind of promo. I'm Commodore Luke LaPonte.
And
That's amazing.
We should preface by saying that Pat has been in the pro wrestling biz.
The business.
The business. He's been in the business
I'm in the Bears.
for well, you were for like 15 years.
15
right?
years, right?
Yeah. So it's an arbitrary number.
Right.
I started in '99 and wrestled pretty consistently for about 11 years. I want to say. Took some time off and came back. So I'm going to say a total of 15 years.
How much time did you take off?
I don't know. I've been hitting the head a lot. Like
Time
I
is
have
just
no idea. It was
a
probably a
disillusion.
good 5 years.
Nice.
I don't know.
So what was the time off for? What happened? I mean,
He lost his
you
smile.
lost your smile.
Yeah, exactly. I lost my smile. So we ran SRPW for a long time, me and my wife. And
Steel Rage Pro Wrestling.
brother.
Oh yeah. And it got to be pretty big. It was pretty popular here in
It
Oklahoma.
was in PWI.
It was in PWI.
I know that was so crazy when I saw that when Ray was that today? That was today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Just send in stuff to PWI and I'll print it.
Fantastic.
So hey, we could get Elote in PWI.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
This
will.
is
we can.
new life goal. Get me in PWI. Not
Okay.
Kellan, just me.
All right. So we'll do that.
Okay, Kellan can be in it too.
Okay, good. Thanks. Sweet.
But like we'd gotten some pretty decent exposure. MTV called us one time and was like, "Hey, we're looking for like bodybuilder type guys," and we're like, "I don't know how you."
You're
got
like,
our
I'm
number,
your
but-"
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm dragged. But they wanted to do a story on like steroid usage, and I was like,
Oh.
well, "That's kind of cutting to the chase." But so WWE had seen us. I guess WWF at the time.
Was this during the allegations of Vince McMahon and all that?
No,
No,
this
this
was
was
way
way
after.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was
that
like-
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
how old are you?
Jesus.
Just kidding. No one is safe on this
Cutting-
podcast.
Cutting deep. God, I don't remember what I was telling my story.
They were looking
They
for
were, looking for,
steroids.
they were looking for buff
Oh yeah,
dudes.
they were looking for buff dude, and I just like it was a really fun company to work for. I was booking, then I stopped booking, but I was having fun because I was wrestling guys that I wanted to wrestle, and I was wrestling guys who knew how to wrestle. And then we shut down, in probably the greatest show ever. And then I would just do spot shows here in Oklahoma City for a couple of different companies like Mid South and SWCW. And then I moved back to Tulsa and Compound was running. And there was like this little bit of a feud between Compound and SRPW, whatever it was. And so they were like, hey, if you want to come wrestle, feel free. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I went, and my first match back, I got my ribs broken.
Oh,
And that wasn't cool.
Oh,
Fantastic.
wait,
Yeah.
real quick. How did that happen?
The guy had me in, I don't remember what, Sheamus does it, where they like hook the head and drop down. I don't remember what it's
Oh,
called.
like a sidewalk slam?
No, not like a sidewalk slam. I don't know. 15 years, you think I'd know what it's called.
Right.
Anyways, like
He's
he
a
landed on
professional.
me
I swear.
and cracked my ribs. So I was just in pain, and I was wrestling guys that I didn't really want to wrestle. And I remember I had a match. It was me and two other guys. One of them is now a promoter, Timmy J, Tim Rockwell, great guy. I love him to death. But we wrestled and I lost, and I went back to the locker room and I was looking around and it's like, I don't know any of these fucking guys in here. It's not fun. And I just packed up and that was it.
Wow.
That's got to be weird.
So,
So, 'cause
yeah.
I can't imagine just
well,
like
I'm done, I guess.
Yeah, that's really what it was. Is like
you didn't even stick around, right? You just literally just packed up and walked.
I packed up and I said bye to everybody and I walked out.
and you
and
walked out on the show and the business.
Yeah.
All I imagine is him walking down the road and the Incredible Hulk music playing that boo, 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 boo,
So,
with his backpack
no, it's-
on and his.
As I'm walking out, there's this person out there, and like I'm just head down walking out. I'm like, ah, fuck this, I'm out of here. And they're like, hey, how's it going? How was your day? And how was your match? And like I was just like, whatever. And it just fucking blew them off, and just walked to my car and drove away. And then like realized like 30 minutes later, it was somebody I actually knew. Like, that I wanted to talk to, and I was like, "Wow, I was a complete and total
The one
dick.
person
Yeah,
that
it
you
was
knew.
the one person. But yeah,
That person could have needed you.
yeah.
That encounter could have changed their life, yours.
Now they're standing on the precipice of a building, gonna jump off. Like, God damn it, Pat didn't say hi to me.
Pat Foster didn't talk to me.
All I wanted to do was be a pro wrestler. Now I'm going to prove it by taking the biggest bump of my life.
But yeah, I legit lost my smile.
That's so sad. That's
Oh.
such a bummer.
And then you said, and that was when you took like 5 years off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. But then,
So where did you
Loche was
find your smile?
So we still had the ring, and we went to a Merc show. I can't remember what it was, but Ray invited us out to a show, And, you know, it was kind of fun to be back. And then he started asking about buying our ring and wanted to use our name because, I don't know, something was going on with what they were doing. So we sold him our ring and we were like, yeah, you can use our name. And he invited us to the show. And we went, and then I just kept going again. And he had me do a referee gimmick for a show because they didn't have a ref. And I plopped down my $25 to be a referee to get the referee license. Well, they messed up the paperwork. And they sent me a wrestling license.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It
I
was
was like,
fate.
well, fuck, I've got the license. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And my wife was like, yeah, you got the license. You might as well
I
do
took
it.
27 rep bumps that night.
Yeah. That was it. But so yeah, then I got back into it for, I don't know, 2 or 3 more years before I was done with that again.
That's awesome, though. I mean, that's such like a destiny story. Like, oh, they screwed up, and then you're like, well, might as well just wrestle again.
Yeah.
The universe is telling me something.
The Oklahoma State Athletic Commission was telling me something.
Please make us legitimate.
You gotta wrestle.
Just don't take any spine busters.
Uh-oh.
Too soon. Sorry.
So who is your favorite wrestler? Let's do local, which better be me, and let's do professional, big leagues.
So
Still better be me.
So locally and always will be is Big Daddy Moore. Sorry guys, but
Is that the guy that you were talking about the other day?
yeah.
Yeah. I've
Big
seen
Daddy
him at
Moore.
least, so I'm
He's a
going to
big
pretend
black
like I
dude.
know him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big black dude. No, I loved Big Daddy. We wrestled so many times, and anytime we wrestled, didn't have to talk about anything before the match. It was like we didn't have to know who was going over.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Hey, brother. But it just like wrestling him was all about feeding the junk, like feed the crotch the whole match.
Wait.
Exactly. That's really what it was.
I imagine it like when he says it like that, though, I imagine it like it's like Little Shop of Horrors. And the dude's junk just comes out and he's like, feed me!
It was kind of like that. But no, he was just a lot of fun to wrestle.
So every match was just junk shots.
Oh
every
yeah,
time, every single
tons. Like he hit me with so many different things in the
Turns
junk.
out this guy was into like BDSM.
No wonder Pat loves junk shots so much. No wonder that we're like coming up with our last match, and then all of a sudden, last minute, like 5 minutes before we go out, he's like, no, we're gonna change the finish. I'm gonna hit you in the nuts.
I have to say though, that was actually your idea.
No, it wasn't.
It totally was.
How?
When we were in Bristow and we were talking about it, and you were like, "Why don't you just kick me in the nuts at the finish?" You totally
I do
said
not
that.
remember saying that.
You legit said that,
That did
and I was
not
like,
happen.
"Yeah, that sounds like a good idea."
No, I might have said it as a joke, but then we're in the back of the alley, and Pat's like, "No, I'm kicking you in the dick, and that's the finish." I'm like, "That's how you want to finish?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "All right." Like,
the best part is you were supposed to also be the face, weren't you?
yeah.
they-
And the crowd turned on him
turned on
so
me.
hard, and he was supposed to come out later on in the match. He's like, "I can't go back out there."
No,
They hate me.
He's like, "They turned on me way too hard."
you guys just have too many friends.
That's what, I know. Like, I don't even think any of our friends were there. No, they were. All of our friends were there.
Yeah.
We actually paid off the entire audience.
If you just like pepper like 5 people in an audience, that's how you get people over. Like, okay, one here, one here, one here.
My favorite was when Daddy started the chant, cocaine.
Yeah, okay.
The best one was, I remember we were talking to Pat, or not Pat, that's you. We were talking to Ray, and I guess, was it on this pod when he said, "You guys got to go, we got to turn you guys"? And
Oh yeah.
yeah, he said,
No.
he said, "We got to turn you guys." He said, "You guys got to go face." Me and Logan were immediately like, "No."
No.
And he's like,
No, that's the beauty of Elote is you don't have to be face or heel or
No.
whatever. Like you can just be you, and the fans are going to get behind you, or they're going to get behind the other guy, whatever.
and,
Yeah.
and that's what we figured out. We were like, "Dude, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing." And we're going to just be dicks that get over. And I was like, and if that's the way that it is and they like us, then fine. I was
Yeah.
like, if they don't, great. If they do, awesome. Like,
You're going to wrestle me, and I'm going to put my junk on your head.
and that happened.
Numerous times.
Not on my head, in my face.
All right,
I
and
had
you-
to turn my face to get his dick off
Which
of my
is-
face.
which
I
is hilarious.
gently placed it on your chin.
Did.
Which is right after like the makeout spot. So
Right.
it's just like, wait a minute, where is this match
Second
going?
gayest match I've ever had.
Oh, the gayest match I ever had was
Probably the gayest match ever.
Gers.
Yeah. Did you see? You saw the match with him and Gers,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The old
Oh,
salad
my
shooter.
God. The old
We get
There was a lot of salad being.
all four corners of that ring. We're getting salad shooter.
Yeah.
I got my salad shot. I did.
So who is your favorite
God.
big time pro wrestler? That's a loaded question.
Of all time.
It is kind of a loaded question.
That
So,
includes New Japan. That includes WWE.
of all time.
That
I
includes
have a
Mickey
few-
Rourke.
I have a few different ones. So as a fan, Jesus,
Ram Jam.
give me the Ram Jam, baby.
Give her the Ram Jam.
So as a fan, I love Hulk Hogan. And it's
Yes.
not popular. Kellan's Olsen. Fuck that guy.
No, I was never a Hulk Hogan guy. I've been a Macho Man kid my entire life.
I can understand that.
You know.
And as soon as Hulk stole Miss Elizabeth, it was over.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth.
But no, I loved Hulk Hogan, and it wasn't popular to like Hulk Hogan, especially in the wrestling community, because they're like, oh, that fucking guy, he doesn't put anybody over. But I just looked at it from a pure entertainment standpoint.
Sure.
Like, that guy could go in there, not take a bump, do a fucking big boot, a leg drop,
Right.
and sell $1 million worth of merchandise.
Yeah.
I heard something recently. What was that on? It was on the Ric Flair 30 for 30. I don't know if you watched that yet.
Not yet.
But it's super good. And Hulk Hogan basically says, like, I don't do anything.
No.
Like he was basically saying, like, it was the first time I heard Hulk Hogan go, like, I went out there, did what I did, and which wasn't much. And he's like, but Rick did so much more. Like, they could do, he's like, I couldn't do a whole lot.
Which is funny because he can.
Well, and even at like 60 years old, Ric Flair was taking that bump off the ladder and stuff like that. Did you see that? The power bomb off the top of the ladder?
Dude, he was like full time when he was in 2000, from like 2005 to like 2008, the dude was like full time.
I just have to point out how sensually you just touched your computer.
He did.
did.
And went to sleep.
Around
I had to wake
the
it up
area
gently.
But again, you have to think of all the people though who were in the business or are in the business or whatever who were influenced by Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Who go like, Hulk Hogan was the reason I wanted to become a professional wrestler. Hulk Hogan was the reason I liked wrestling.
He was larger than life.
Right.
I mean, he was a straight up superstar
The
on
funny thing
any
is,
level.
if you ever watch his Japan stuff, which is funny to think of, like, watch Hogan's Japan matches.
I saw one recently.
When he wrestled Muda,
surprisingly good.
dude, he's good. He knew how to work.
He could work.
Really? So,
Yeah.
I mean, did he go hard?
No, he just, like, what is it? I think he did a jumping armbar on Muda.
Whoa.
And, like, you don't expect Hogan to do that.
Yeah.
And he did.
Was it just because he wanted to coast, or was it like so he had the ability to, and he just
I just
chose
think
not
he
to?
could.
He
I
just
think
I think you put on the matches that people want to see.
right.
Yeah.
And that's
I
the
agree.
secret. So, I mean, in this day and age, it's not popular to talk about women. But back when I started,
I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
Yeah. Hashtag me too. But back when I started, there wasn't any women's wrestling in the local indie scene. There was like one woman in Oklahoma City, but she would wrestle guys. But then there was a couple of girls that got started in Tulsa, and the matches that they put on, they wanted to go hard and do like legit wrestling matches. And the crowd they would get, man, it's women, we want to see you do hair pull. So you had to throw that stuff in there to get the crowd involved. So they would do the hair pull and roll around and choke and things like that. But then they could go and put like the actual match stuff together that they wanted to. So for Hogan, it's the same thing. Is if he'd have gone out there and he'd have done like 5 minutes of chain wrestling and jumping arm bars or whatever the fuck he does,
Right.
then the crowd's going to shit on him. Sorry.
But I just put the headphones on.
Don't mind me. I'm just banging the table.
It's funny that you said that because, and this is a little bit of a veering.
Oh my!
Sorry,
What is happening?
Sorry. It's just veering.
Are we under attack?
It's veering off course just a little bit. But you said this, and we kind of mentioned this in our little message thing that we did. But did you watch that Aleister Black?
Oh, I want to see it so
Velveteen
bad.
Dream?
Velveteen
I started
Dream.
watching.
Oh my
it this
God, that
morning, I
match
got
was
distracted.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No, I started it. I literally,
so good.
I literally watched them walk out and then
dude,
got distracted. I had to vacuum or something.
It's
and
one
then
of
never
the
went back.
best, like, straight up psychological matches I've seen in a long time.
Everybody's talking about it on Reddit.
It's really, really good.
It's really good because they weren't doing their normal And you know, for all of you who haven't seen it yet, because it was last night, you know, whatever spoilers, but
like this podcast is going up right now.
it's not. It'll be.
It's not.
It'll be
in like a week.
It'll be like.
I still have one other one to post.
It's gonna be. This is. Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
But well, Happy New Year. But
Let's just get them all in there. Happy Valentine's
it
Day.
just had a wonderful feel to it. Like the whole setup was really cool. Like, and I don't watch a lot of NXT, so I watched. Luckily, they do those packages before that show you the you know build up. The build up was pretty weird and cool, and then all of a sudden you have the whole idea that the whole point of the match was he just wanted Aleister Black to say his name.
He needs that respect.
My question is, was he doing that before? Was like a lead up to the
totally.
He was so they had built that in the lead up to the match that he wouldn't say.
So
that was the whole point.
You said you were like just started watching it. Did you watch the pre-tape before, like the intro promo, or did you skip it?
No, it was going. So I was like cooking or like cleaning at the same time. So I ended up pausing it because
domestic.
I was being basic, and I ended up pausing it because I wanted to pay attention to it. So I didn't really know what was going on.
So watch the promo that leads up to the match, and that really set the tone for the whole match. Because then, like, I'm like you, I don't really watch it, and I was like, well, everybody keeps talking about this match, I want to watch it. And in the pre-tape promo, like that let me know what was happening, and then I could watch the whole match, and I was like, holy shit, this is fantastic.
It's awesome.
I watched it last night because it was a rare Saturday night that I was like home and didn't have anything going on, and I was like, well, that's on tonight. So I'm like, I'm gonna turn it on and watch it. I just so happened to look at the clock. It was like 6:30. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna be able to watch this whole show. So I turned it on, and when they did the lead up to that, I like was immediately like, this will be interesting. And they did that, and dude, the match they put on was so not what you're used to seeing nowadays.
Yeah,
you know, you're used to seeing so much fast paced, like big spots. You know, and that's not what this match was. This match was slow. It was methodical. It was the whole thing was psychological.
It's really cool.
It was like a Luke LaPointe match.
There you go. Was that your style?
Yeah, like I didn't do a lot of high spots. I didn't move fast. Still don't.
Well, and that was like one of the first things you told me was like slow down.
Yeah,
slow.
Keep it slow, low and slow.
I mean, a good example is Jason Jordan in that match with The Miz. I think he was like going spot as fast as he possibly could.
He moves so fast.
And I was watching this, and it wasn't fun because it takes away the weight of the moves.
Yeah.
You know, so if you get hit with a suplex and then you get hit with like a pile driver and then you get hit with a power bomb all back to back to back, it's like, what was the point of doing any of those in the first place?
Well, and I think I was in a match where it was one of our matches. It wasn't the last one we had. It might have been the match we had in June when we just had to kind of call it a little bit and change things up a little bit. But it was Ray or Pat, but somebody got in there with me. I don't think I was in there with Pat very much. So I think it was Ray. And at one point, Ray goes, like, he was like, slow down. Like, he just, because I was wanting to get through it, you know, to start hitting my stuff. And I just remember Ray, like, kind of grabbing my arm when I went to pick him up. And he was just like, slow down. Like, he just said, slow down. And
he did too much cocaine.
Yeah, I did. I had so much blow in my system at that point.
But yeah, I mean, that's to drop some old school knowledge, brother. That was one of the things that I was taught is slow down, sell the moves, or then no one's going to care.
Right.
I mean, not to take away from the spot fest that you can see on like PWG or whatever. I love that stuff.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. But I also love that slow, you know, I just power bombed you. Why are you going to get up and take another one?
Right.
So it's a good mix, and it was cool to see that match because it did remind me of that's what I used to do is just try to keep it as slow as possible and just make it psychological.
One of my favorite. Well, I liked like our last match that we had together, which was the last match I had. I liked how slow it was. We had it kind of built slow, like where we had some main ideas that we were gonna do, but it was kind of like it wasn't boom, 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 boom. It was. We didn't have a whole lot laid out, but he was like, yeah, we can do 10 minutes or however long we did. I think it was like 6.
I didn't know how long
it might have been like 6 or something, but he was like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Well, see, and with me, what I've been trying to do is up my intensity and my because I would go slow, but I would also look lackadaisical. Like I just didn't care. Like I was in the ring. Like
It's
I
'cause
wasn't
you're
actually in a match.
super tall.
But I
That's
was.
what it all
but I
comes down
wanted
to.
to
It
up my
takes 10 minutes for your hand to go from like your shoulder to somebody's jaw because it's so fucking long. Oh.
And especially in the elote ring where like you can barely even bump.
Right. So, but in my last match, I think
You
I
have to
I
tuck
addressed
your
that.
legs up into your chin to take a bump.
Just bumps in a ball.
Takes a ball bump.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I've taken a couple. Care of this guy.
You're welcome.
But what I wanted to do was get that that energy up while still working slow.
I can teach you how to do that.
Yeah, well, I think and I think Kellan can speak to this. I really have addressed that in the last matches, right? Because I know Kellan. Kellan's like dying.
He's
so
coughing so he can avoid answering that question.
No, I'm so sorry.
All right, next topic.
What were you saying? No, you've talked about that a lot. About how you want to establish your presence more.
Yeah, and not necessarily work faster, but just move with a little more energy than
Fluidity.
so it feels like I'm actually like in a match and not just like standing there waiting for something to
Right, just
happen.
more fluid. And I think that was what was, recently me and Ray we're working on something. But me and Ray were working some stuff out, and it was kind of cool how we came up with a kind of a different way. Me and Ray just kind of got in there and started just doing stuff immediately, and then we both were like, oh, we like that, and then we would just slowly get into something else and be like, oh, okay, let's go with that, and we just let our natural inclination just kind of take over, and you just whatever you feel, we kind of ended up just going with, and then I think what we ended up producing is gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't wait to see that match.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. I guess that's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like in 2 days.
Yeah, you have a match in 3 days.
Oh shit! Well, thank God I have an upper respiratory infection.
Oh, it's good stuff.
No, I've been taking. We're good.
You've been doing lines.
Yeah, I've been doing so much heroin. I don't even know where I am right now.
I don't feel like a thing.
No, I mean intensity. It's tough. That was my selling point when I was starting. I wasn't good, but I was intense. My punches, my moves, my clotheslines, shoulder tackles, whatever it was, I brought an intensity to it that sold it more than just your average Joe getting in the ring. And I learned a lot of that from he who must not be named, Chris Benoit.
Who?
Oh, really?
Who's that guy?
I don't know. No
Exactly.
idea. Never heard him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he a local guy?
I think so.
Benoit, you said?
Benoit.
Benoit?
I believe it is pronounced Benoit.
I've heard of this Benoit.
Yes, but I watched a lot of what he did, and I was just amazed at just how fucking scary he was for such a small dude.
Yeah,
like he would put a lot behind it.
Intense.
Yeah,
Just
and
super intense.
I wanted to look like that, and that's what I tried to accomplish. I mean, I got pretty close. I'm never as good as he was, but he was kind of one of the guys I looked to.
I think that's why I liked guys like that. Like back in the day, like wrestlers that were super intense. Like I liked guys that were like, I think that's one of the reasons that again, I'm younger, but in the 90s during the Attitude Era, I think that's the reason that I was drawn to like Ken Shamrock so much as a professional wrestler. He wasn't the greatest, but he wasn't terrible, but he was so intense and like everything he would bring with it. I always liked that. Like I liked that whole like most dangerous man in the world thing.
Well, somebody who I think is really nailing the slow match but fast but intensity is Kenny Omega.
Oh, here we go.
God,
Here we go.
Fucking
So let me tell you about Kenny
God,
Omega.
let me tell you about Kenny Omega.
So there was this one time, Kenny was sitting on a porch, and I went up to him and I put my penis in his hand.
So I have to
he
talk
told you about that
Kenny
dream
Omega.
too.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you about Kenny Omega because I'm currently wearing a Kenny Omega shirt. So I think that's fair, right?
Just because you're the biggest Kenny Omega mark
Let
I've
me
ever.
tell you about Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega.
But no, I totally agree.
No, I agree.
He's awesome.
His Okada match.
Oh, Jesus.
Which
yeah.
one?
Any of them.
Okay.
The 5-star or the 6-star?
Or the 6.5 star.
5 star.
Yeah, the 6.5 star.
So what was interesting about him is they have that slow, like that breakdown and stuff like that. But then like as soon as he's ready to go, he turns it on and he's flying across the ring and he does like the little like rev up and he kind of does like all that stuff. And so it's those little things that
I think
you
a
sprinkle
lot of
through.
New Japan guys are like that I think a lot of them
I mean,
have
yeah,
that.
they're all.
I think one person
amazing.
that comes to mind with that is like Marty Scurll. Like the dude is so good at he can do it all.
He
Super
goes
excited to watch him tonight.
I am
slow.
too.
He goes so slow, but it's amazing how he does it.
Yeah.
And especially pairing him up with Will Ospreay in that last match.
Yeah.
Oh god, it was good.
That like blew my mind.
His style is just so, and that's kind of the Japanese style. Like you do have the guys that go fast and quick and boom, 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 but then you have a lot of those older school guys that go real slow and
Tanahashi.
yeah, Tanahashi
Yeah.
and or like even guys that are older but still around now, like Suzuki. You know, who is
Is
just
he like 70?
I don't know how old he is, but
He's
he
legit
is,
almost 50.
He
And he's
hates
le-
young boys.
and he's legit the scariest person on the
He
planet.
is.
I look at him and I'm like, you are horrifying.
I was actually watching a YouTube video of Suzuki's most savage moments or whatever, and like he just beats the shit out of young boys. Like the
All the
match
time.
is over, he's like, "Oh, young boy, smack."
Like
Take
the other
that,
day-
fuck boy.
like after he I think he lost in like a tag match or something in the last New Japan match, and he just like threw one of the audience members, he like pushed them out of his chair, folded it up, and just started beating the hell
Yep.
out of one of the like security guys. I was just like, what? Who is
Yeah.
this madman?
I just don't think he gives a fuck.
He doesn't.
I just think he's at the point he's just like, whatever. But were you judging me for my Ken Shamrock? You were giving me the judgy eyes.
No, it was funny because you said Ken Shamrock. I liked Ken Shamrock. I liked the intensity that he brought, and I was always like, man, I don't ever want to wrestle him.
No.
And I'm at a show one time, and a guy
Long
comes
story
up-
short, I wrestled him.
no, a guy comes up to me, and I'm not gonna name names or anything because I don't even know what happened. This was a long time ago, but he's like, hey, if you stay and wrestle here, we're gonna bring in Ken Shamrock, and you can wrestle Ken Shamrock. I'm like, that's not a selling point. I do not want to wrestle him, but it always makes me laugh. Like that just came to my mind when you said Ken Shamrock.
He was a madman. Like I don't know if I ever would want to get in a ring with him.
I'm sure he was fine.
Oh, I'm sure he was okay. Like I mean, but he actually would, because you don't think of him having the run that he had. He had a pretty good little run there. He was Intercontinental Champion
Yeah.
a few times. Like
I knew him as a wrestler before I knew him from his MMA days. So then once I started getting into MMA and I kind of started watching, I think it was right as his feud with Tito Ortiz, I was like, oh, like he's legitimately like a badass.
Yeah, the original UFC fights, like he was damn good.
Yeah, but his brother was even better than he was in the UFC. Frank
Yeah,
Shamrock.
I missed the Frank Shamrock
Oh
boat.
my gosh, he was amazing.
he was awesome. He was super good. But I mean, I just want to say Dan Severn. That's it. I really don't have any
Dan
segue
Severn.
into it. I just want to say Dan Severn.
Dan Severn is
Dan
coming
Severn.
to Tulsa.
Is he really?
Is he really?
Yeah, the compound's bringing him in. I think maybe in 2 weeks
Because
or so.
I'll
he
wrestle.
still works.
I'll work him.
Yeah,
Because that dude,
I don't think that's how that works.
that dude has held.
It's an open match,
that
right?
dude has held so many. Remember we looked up all his stats?
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous of how many titles he's held simultaneously with still doing MMA at the same
Oh,
time.
he's a badass.
and like just being able to switch off back and forth and like
the secret is like he doesn't switch off.
It's all the same.
it's all the same guy.
Yeah, and it's MMA pro wrestling. It's not a work for him.
They,
That's why he's on so many titles.
dude, they did a video on What Culture a while back all about Dan Severn and basically just saying like there would be no Brock Lesnar, there would be no any of this if there wasn't for Dan Severn.
Yeah.
Like he did so much for the MMA pro wrestling.
I've heard he is like a super nice guy too.
I've heard nothing that he's
Yeah.
just a sweetheart. But anyway, that's a weird thing to get off
And
on.
a badass. Like just so he has like over 100 UFC or not UFC but MMA matches, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's been in over. He's had 100 wins if I remember right, and I think
I
he's
bet he
been
just,
in over
like,
like
His
120,
record is like
130.
incredible.
He just looks at his calendar and is like, I'm not doing anything Thursday night.
I think I'll go see if some promotion needs me somewhere. Hey, you want me to come wrestle?
I haven't punched anybody in a while.
In his sleep, he sleepwalks. He sleep
He
fights.
sleep punches.
Yeah. So let's talk about Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
in just a
little bit.
few minutes, we were actually going to be leaving to go check out Ring of Honor, hang out with the Young Bucks, and party with Marty Scurll. And
Yeah.
I wish.
I'm going to kiss the ring, guys. I'm going to kiss the ring.
You're not getting close to the ring.
And if you're, why would you kiss it? I'm putting my dick on it. In it.
I'm going to screw the ring.
I'm gonna fuck the ring. I'm gonna fuck the ring.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna let you said Joey Ryan's gonna be there.
I'm gonna
let him put it in me.
So he did the show in San Antonio, and then last night he was in Tulsa, which we all missed it. But
he was there with Kikutaro, right?
Yeah, so I saw he posted on Instagram. He posted the video of him in San Antonio. He was like, "Hey, maybe we'll do this in Oklahoma City." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, Joey Ryan in Oklahoma City, that'd be awesome." And then today he posted something that he will be in Oklahoma City. So whether he's working or not, I don't know.
We need to find him in the crowd and then just tell him.
I don't know if he's gonna work there or not. Colt's gonna be there. He's doing commentary.
Oh, so that's cool.
Yeah, so he'll be there. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people there. I know that Marty will be there. Young Bucks.
Who are you guys most excited to see?
Honestly, probably Cody Rhodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Flip Gordon.
Flip Gordon. Where do you think you're going?
I'm excited to see. I think I'm most excited to see the Young Bucks actually.
Well,
because they're so with my favorite is New Japan. It's no secret. But they're
he hasn't really watched a lot of wrestling, and all of a sudden he's like, I like the New Japan, it's good stuff.
No, I know. I see how he does though, because the thing is, and this is again a little sidebar here again, but he got
I love sidebars.
Now I've watched Japan for a while too, and all that stuff, and I've been in wrestling and all that. But now that I have the capability to watch New Japan, thank you, Logan.
It's amazing.
Anytime.
Hook me up.
That's all
I
got you. That's all I've been watching. And so now, when I watch WWE, I'm like, this is so boring and stupid. Yeah. It's so sad because I'll sit there, I'll watch it like this Monday, right? Because I watched New Japan over the weekend or whatever, and then Monday came around, and then all of a sudden I started watching Raw. Wasn't even paying attention, and I'm like,
it's like you're in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
You feel the need to watch it, and I got to that point a long time ago, and I don't watch it anymore, and I don't know, maybe I should, but. Like New Japan, I can sit there and I can watch an entire New Japan show because it's more about the wrestling and less about the backstage.
And the wrestling tells the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they do everything in the ring, and it's not. And also the way that they do it is just so different. Like, you watch Raw, you watch WWE and all that stuff. It's good, but it's kind of they have their way.
That was less sensual, by the way.
But they definitely have their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And so with where did we get to New Japan? I just wanted to drive.
I think we're just making fun of you for
no, because you said the Young Bucks.
Okay, yeah. So
you like the New Japan stuff.
So to piggyback off of what you were saying about WWE, what kills me the most about it right now is after getting used to New Japan's camera angles, the snap zooms. Yeah. I'm just like, what is going like?
Make you want to vomit.
The one where Cesaro, or have you seen the one where Sheamus is hitting some guy on the road? It's just back and forth.
It's just like this.
Well, I think the worst one is anytime the Shield was doing a beatdown, it was like this weird Shield shaky cam.
Well, it was Shield shaky cam, and they would go, and it was like the producer was like Kevin Dunn was in the bus going, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 1, camera 2, and it would go boom, 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 boom,
it was
boom.
Awful.
And then it's like, and they're all doing the snap zooms at the same time, switching cameras, and it's like you're like,
I'm gonna throw up.
Just throwing like a VR headset just to watch that.
Oh god,
your head just explodes.
But no, and I'm super excited to see the Young Bucks. I love the Young Bucks, but I think
they were almost on the podcast today.
Yeah,
I know if they'd have just gotten back to us in time.
And I think what I mean by, because I said Cody, but it's like Cody, Young Bucks, Marty, like all those Bullet Club guys. I'm just super excited, but also Joey Ryan, also Cole Command, also Jay Lethal, also everybody. And
I mean, Cheeseburger's gonna be there.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody in Ring of Honor is awesome. We will not see a bad show. The ring. Dalton Castle's going to be there, which is awesome.
The six way for the survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
that's going to be insane.
Yes,
and isn't this the final night of the tournament?
Yeah,
Well, and didn't I think last night they posted something of? Did you guys see that Cody put like Christopher Daniels through a flaming table?
Which Daniels may not be wrestling
today. Because he got like 3rd-degree burns on his back and shit.
Was it flaming? I didn't see the fire.
Yes. And then it showed pictures of it afterwards, and his back was fucking destroyed.
Yeah. Oh. Which is a shame, because I'm really looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, I really wanted to see that, because them together, I don't know if you've ever seen them together.
Oh, it's amazing.
What if? last minute replacement, Kenny Omega.
It's not gonna happen.
Come on, I can make
not
dream.
gonna happen.
A boy can dream, okay?
He's not anywhere near here.
He is on the other side of the world right now.
And then the one time I was on the other side of the world, he wasn't.
Well, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He was there.
He was like,
He was straight
Logan
up there,
guy
but
is
he
going
was-
to be here.
But he was hurt.
Oh, I've got a knee injury.
Yeah, he's like, I really don't feel like doing anything tonight.
Dude, you know what'd be so funny is like we're at the show and fucking Kenny Omega shows up and this guy's just gonna squeal and pass out.
Yeah.
And then he misses the whole show.
He wakes up later and he's like, guys, I think Kenny Omega was here. We're like, yeah, he was
wakes up,
awesome.
He wakes up and we're all like, they're like, thank you, good night. We're like, yeah. And he's like, wait, what happened? What? You fucking missed it, man.
Was it cool?
Was it cool? Was it cool? Was it cool?
He planched onto us.
Hey, remember that time I made you turn down your mic?
Because I screamed.
Awesome, man. So you say Cody Rhodes. I say Young Bucks. Who do you say?
Marty. I am looking forward to Marty.
Yeah. I think it's the Bullet Club as a whole. All those guys are my favorites. I love all those guys.
We all said the Bullet Club while we're wearing Bullet Club t-shirts.
I think I did. I said Flip Gordon first, but no,
Flip
I
Gordon's
don't
good,
really
but-
care.
But I think I'm just excited to go. I just think everybody is. I mean, I love every single person pretty much on the card.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. I mean, we went to the WWE show and it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had
I
a good
love
time.
a good house show.
Yeah,
But I'm more excited to see this show than the WWE show.
I agree.
Here's what I'm excited about. Like Logan's been to his first WWE show.
Yeah.
Because that was his first. That was your first.
Was that?
Or no. You
That was
went
our first
to,
WWE show.
That
Yeah.
was your first WWE show, but you went to New Japan before that, right?
Oh,
So,
no.
But I'm saying
My first major live show was New Japan.
But the thing is, you saw New Japan, you've seen WWE. Now you're going to see Ring of Honor, which is a total different beast. It's more like New Japan. It's more like
and that's
that
why I'm
style.
more excited about it. Yeah, for
and
sure.
they on these, especially on these, these tours that they do and stuff. They just, from everything I've heard and read and seen, they just have a good time. They just have a blast with what they're doing.
That's so cool.
I can tell you from like the back in the days of doing a 3-day tour or whatever, not like I was a superstar, but we do 3-day shots and you just go out there and you have a shit ton of fun. And like the last day is when you're like, oh, fuck it. I'm going to go out there and do this crazy shit.
Just everything that comes to my head.
Yeah. It's just,
That's
I'm going
awesome.
to have fun.
So you think tonight will be the night where they just go ham?
Well, I mean, you missed Kenny in San Antonio. So
But they were in Dallas last night, so
yeah.
Was Kenny in Dallas?
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're both
Kenny
like,
got
no,
back on a
fuck
plane
that.
and went to Japan.
Yeah. They're not going to pay 3 nights for Kenny Omega.
I will. I'd cough up.
I mean, you can probably book him.
Kenny, I'll give you a hot dog and a handshake.
I think he stopped working for that like 10 years ago.
I think he's working for a lot more than that
Yeah.
now.
Although he might
We'll see about
appreciate
that.
the hot dog and handshake.
Yeah.
That's this
Cool.
tip.
All right. Any last things? Because we actually do have to leave pretty quick.
No.
I'm good.
Y'all want to plug? Y'all want to chill a little bit?
What are we shilling?
What are we shilling?
This is not coming out
Your
till like
handles, your
St. Patrick's
shows, your characters, your
Day.
wives.
Elote.
Yeah. Let's talk about Elote.
Yeah. There's a Lucha Givings.
It's in like 3 days.
Which is
Lucha,
in, like,
Lucha Giving.
The Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Which
this
will
probably
not
won't
be out.
This will
No.
not be out by then.
Guaranteed it's not.
Hope you guys came.
It was a great show.
It's a good show.
Kellan got his nose broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got my balls busted.
December. When is our show in December?
I have no clue. I'm thinking the 21st, but that's
It's something like
this week.
It was like 21st, 22nd was what I was thinking.
but that's this show.
Yeah, this show's the 22nd.
But, okay.
I don't know. Libby posted it.
There's a match in December sometime. Come check us out.
Yeah.
We'll be wrestling. What do you call that? Lucha Miss?
It's the Christmas show. Lucha Claus.
Lucha Claus.
Lucha Claus.
Yeah.
Lucha Claus.
I think I will be Lucha Claus this year.
Aww.
Aw.
Well, I mean,
adorable.
because Arthur's not Lucha Claus.
Aw.
Kayfabe.
'Cause he lost his smile.
I broke Arthur. It's the funny thing is 15 years of wrestling and I never hurt anybody. And then I get in the ring with Arthur and I broke him.
That is so sad.
Yeah. It makes me
The
sad.
one guy.
It is December 21st.
Here we
Oh,
go.
Claus.
look at me.
Yeah,
at you.
and then February
this.
10th, Lucha Tines.
Lucha Tines. Now is that any guys on Lucha Tines or it's all the ladies, right?
I like how you're looking at me like I know.
right?
I told you my idea.
I'm gonna pretend.
I told
Oh yeah.
you my idea.
Oh god, that's when I
Me-
broke Arthur.
That's what me
It
and
was
Kellan are
Lucha
gonna-
Times.
Was it?
Aw.
Yeah,
Well-
because we did a match in drag.
I was gonna say me and Kellan are gonna do a bra and panties
We're gonna do a
match.
bra and panties match.
Oh, it was so
We're gonna
much
do
fun.
it. We're gonna do an after 10 bra and panties match.
I had like the hashtag Me Too. I'd never known that until I dressed in drag. I got so molested that night.
Perfect.
All right, cool. So you guys can follow Kellan on Instagram. His is Kelbert77.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know your screen name? It's weird.
Because we tag each other and shit all the time.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And then Pat's is Go Home You're Drunk, Pat.
Go
Go
home,
home,
Pat.
go home, Pat. You're drunk.
Go Home Pat, You're Drunk.
Yeah.
And I am Proxima Bear, Proxima _
Yes,
BR.
you have to have the underscore.
Yeah.
Yes, there's an underscore. What's funny is I didn't actually have to do the underscore. I did that so they would separate the two words so people would understand, and
See-
it wasn't just Proxima Bear.
You know, it's kind of nice though because like when we say this, it's like, oh, I have an Instagram, he has an Instagram, you have an Instagram. It's like we have Facebook, but who gives a shit? And then like Ray gets on here and he's like, check my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my my Vine.
He was plugging trivia.
Yeah, he's plugging trivia, plugging him doing like all of his
He
like
is
DJ.
the king of shameless self-promotion.
He
Dude,
really
is.
does,
He
yeah.
is.
All right, so let's go to Ring of Honor. You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
on.
Bye.
Bye.
What was that?
Also,
It's
Jay
gonna be
Lethal.
there.
Also, everybody in.
I mean, Cheeseburger's gonna be there.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody in Ring of Honor is awesome. We will not see a bad show. The
No.
Dalton Castle's going to be there, which is awesome.
The six way for the survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's gonna be insane.
Yes.
And isn't this the final night of the tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't I think last night they posted something of? Did you guys see that Cody put like Christopher Daniels through a flaming table?
Which Daniels may not be wrestling
Right,
today.
because he got like 3rd-degree burns on his back and shit.
Was it flaming? I didn't see
Yeah.
the fire.
Yes. And then
Whoa.
it showed pictures of it afterwards, and his back was fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is a shame because I'm really looking forward
Yeah,
to
I
seeing
really
him
wanted to
wrestle.
see that because them together. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Together,
Oh, it's
but,
amazing.
whew,
What
they
if?
put on-
What if? Last minute replacement, Kenny Omega.
It's not gonna happen.
Come on, I can make
not
a dream.
gonna happen.
A boy can dream, okay?
He's not anywhere near here.
He is on the other side of the world right now.
And then the one time I was on the other side of the world, he wasn't.
Well, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He
just-
was there,
He was like,
He was
fucking
straight up
Logan
there,
guy
but
is
he
gonna
was-
be here.
but he was hurt.
Oh, I've got a knee injury.
Yeah, he's like, I really don't feel like doing anything tonight.
Dude, you know what'd be so funny is like we're at the show and fucking Kenny Omega shows up and this guy's just gonna squeal and pass out.
Yeah.
And then he misses the whole show.
He wakes up later and he's like, guys, I think Kenny Omega was here. We're like, yeah,
He
was
wakes up,
awesome.
He wakes up and we're all like, they're like, thank you, good night. We're like, yeah. And he's like, wait, what happened? What? You fucking missed it, man.
Was it cool?
Was it cool? Was it cool? Was it cool?
He planted onto us.
Hey, remember that time I made you turn down your mic?
Because I screamed.
Awesome, man. So you say Cody Rhodes. I say Young Bucks. Who do you say?
Marty. I am looking forward to Marty.
Yeah. I think it's the Bullet Club as a whole. All those guys are my favorites. I love all those guys.
We all said the Bullet Club
Yeah.
while we're wearing Bullet Club
Yeah.
t-shirts.
I think I did. I said Flip Gordon first, but no,
Flip
I
Gordon's
don't
good,
really
but-
care.
But I think I'm just excited to go. I just think
Yeah.
everybody is. I mean, I love every single person pretty much on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. I mean, we went to the WWE show and it was fun. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, we had
I
a good
love
time.
a good house show.
Yeah.
But I'm more excited to see this show than the WWE show.
I agree.
Here's what I'm excited about. Like Logan's been to his first WWE show.
Yeah.
Because that was his first. That was your first.
Was that?
Or no. You
That was our
went
first
to.
WWE show.
That was your first WWE show, but you went to New Japan before that, right?
Oh,
So-
no.
But I'm saying.
My first major live show was New Japan.
But the thing is, you saw New Japan, you've seen WWE. Now you're gonna go see Ring of Honor, which is a total different beast. It's more like New Japan. It's more like
and that's
that
why
style.
I'm more excited about it. Yeah, for
and
sure.
they on these, especially on these, these tours that they do and stuff. They just, from everything I've heard and read and seen, they just have a good time. They just have a blast with what they're doing.
That's so cool.
I can tell you from like the back in the days of doing a 3-day tour or whatever, not like I was a superstar, but we do 3-day shots and you just go out there and you have a shit ton of fun. And like the last day is when you're like, oh, fuck it. I'm gonna go out there and do this crazy shit.
Just everything that comes to my head.
Yeah. It's just,
That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna have fun.
So you think tonight will be the night where they just go ham?
Well, I mean, you missed Kenny in San Antonio, so
But they were in Dallas last night, so
yeah.
Was Kenny in Dallas?
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're both
Kenny got
no,
back on a
fuck
plane
that
and
guy.
went to Japan.
Yeah, they're not going to pay 3 nights for Kenny Omega.
I will. I'd cough up.
I mean, you can probably book him.
Kenny, I'll give you a hot dog and a handshake.
I think he stopped working for that like 10 years ago.
I think he's working for a lot more than that
Yeah.
now.
Although he might
We'll see about
appreciate
that.
the hot dog and handshake.
Yeah.
That's this
Cool.
tip.
All right. Any last things? Because we actually do have to leave pretty quick.
No.
I'm good.
Y'all want to plug? Y'all want to chill a little bit?
What are we shilling?
What are we doing?
This is not coming out
Your
till like
handles, your
St. Patrick's Day.
shows, your characters, your wives.
Elote.
Yeah. Let's talk about Elote.
Yeah. There's a Lucha Givings.
It's in like 3 days.
Which is
Lucha,
in, like,
Lucha Giving.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Which
this
will
probably
not
won't
be out.
This
No.
will not be out by then.
Guaranteed it's not.
Hope you guys came.
It was a great show.
It's a good show.
Kellan got his nose broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got my balls busted.
December. When is our show in December?
I have no clue. I'm thinking the 21st, but that's
It's something like
this week.
I was like 21st or 22nd was what I was thinking.
But that's this show.
Yeah, this show's the 22nd.
But okay.
I don't know. Libby posted it.
There's a match in December sometime. Come check us out.
Yeah.
We'll be wrestling. What do you call that? Lucha Miss?
It's the Christmas show. Lucha Claus.
Lucha Claus.
Lucha Claus.
Yeah.
Lucha Claus.
I think I will be Lucha Claus this year.
Aww.
Aw.
It's
Well, I mean,
adorable.
because Arthur's not Lucha Claus.
Aw.
Kayfabe.
'Cause he lost his smile.
I broke Arthur. It's the funny thing is 15 years of wrestling and I never hurt anybody. And then I get in the ring with Arthur and I broke him.
That is so sad.
Yeah. It makes me
The
sad.
one guy.
It is December 21st.
There you
Oh,
go.
Claus.
look at me.
Yeah,
you.
and then February
this.
10th, Lucha Tines.
Lucha Tines. Now is that any guys on Lucha Tines or it's all the ladies, right?
I like it. You're looking at me like I know.
right?
I told you my idea.
I'm gonna pretend.
I told you my idea.
Oh God, that's when I
Me-
broke Arthur.
That's what
It was Lucha Tines.
Was it?
Aw.
Yeah,
Well-
because we did a match in drag.
I was gonna say me and Kellan are gonna do a bra and panties.
We're gonna do a
match.
bra and panties match.
Oh, it was so
we're gonna
much
do
fun.
it. We're gonna do an after 10 bra and panties match.
I had like the hashtag Me Too. I'd never known that until I dressed in drag. I got so molested that night.
Perfect.
All right, cool. So you guys can follow Kellan on Instagram. His is Kelbert77. How do I know your screen name? It's weird.
Because we tag each other and shit all the time.
That's pretty much what it is.
yeah.
And then Pat's is Go Home You're Drunk, Pat.
Go
Go
home,
home,
Pat.
go home, Pat. You're drunk.
Go Home Pat, You're Drunk.
Yeah.
And I am Proxima Bear. Proxima _
Yes,
BR.
you have to have the underscore.
Yeah.
And yes, there's an underscore. What's funny is I didn't actually have to do the underscore. I did that so they would separate the two words so people would understand, and
See-
it wasn't just Proxima Bear.
You know, it's kind of nice though because like when we say this, it's like, oh, I have an Instagram, he has an Instagram, you have an Instagram. It's like we have Facebook, but who gives a shit? And then like Ray gets on here and we're like, check my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my my Vine.
He was plugging trivia.
Yeah, he's plugging trivia, plugging him doing like all of his
He
like
is
DJ.
the king of shameless self-promotion.
He
Dude,
really
is.
does.
He
Yeah.
is.
All right, so let's go to Ring of Honor. You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
on.
Bye.
Bye.
What was that?